My dad died when I was 2, so I will be an entrepreneur dad for you. It's Dadpreneur time. Let's take a walk.
No boss, no ceiling, just the life you design. The time is now, not someday, it's time. Dadpreneur, 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 dadpreneur.
Let's go. So today, obviously I own a digital marketing agency. We talk about that a lot. I want to talk about over editing, and I want to talk about assets. First thing is the internet is absolutely chock full of super fast cuts, internet cuts. Oh yeah. And I've been doing what I'm supposed to do for a really long time. Like cut, cut, cut. Just, I mean, my goodness. Watch content for like, you know, the younger generation. They cut every 2 seconds.
This is the best night ever! Yeah, come on, faster!
Just all these different effects on the videos, and that's fine. I get it. When I'm watching a video and it's just static like this, I feel bored too. But then I ask myself, who's this content for? And why does this content exist? Number one, it's for people who want to, you know, like I said at the beginning, like I never walked around with a father figure who's like explaining this shit to me. You know what I mean? What it's actually like to be an entrepreneur, what you should do with your money. Someone who's not trying to like sell me anything. I get there's the irony of the fact that I own a marketing agency, but I mean, you can probably tell. Hopefully you can tell. I'm trying to be honest with you here. I could sit here and be like, oh, here are the top 5 things you should do for your marketing in 2026. Don't want to do that. So what am I actually doing? Stocks and over editing. All right, so number one, if you check your own brain at this point in the video, you're probably already like, oh, get to the point. So maybe that's worth reflecting on a little bit. You know, it's like we've been indoctrinated, trained to want that satisfaction. And a lot of the wisdom that comes, you learn this when you get older, is you just gotta chill, man. Just, okay, I'm gonna let the point arrive. And then when it does, the tension that builds, you know, it has value. The value's in the tension. This is true of music as well, where it's like da 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 ba da da ba. You know, you're like, oh, that's so good. Well, why is it so good? You gotta wait for it. You gotta wait for it a little bit. And when we cut all of the silences out of everything we do, when we literally cut the silence out. Think about that. What would the Buddhists think? What would the Buddha think? He's like, I meditated under the Bodhi tree for a long time. Or Jesus in the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. It sounds pretty boring to me. And the devil tempts him. You're like, well, that's pretty interesting. So I'll talk a little bit about that. The crossover between entrepreneurship and religion, which no one will ever talk about ever. So when you study religions, you find that there are entrepreneur lessons all over the place. Standing up for what you believe, being willing to fight battles that are uncomfortable, like in the Bhagavad Gita. Essentially, Krishna tells Arjuna, you don't want to do this, but you don't have to. But if you don't, it's going to get real ugly. And so the same is true of entrepreneurship. Like, you don't have to. You don't have to get up. It's called eating the frog. Have you ever heard of that? Eat the frog. I'm vegetarian, so it's a terrible metaphor. But the point is, you know, do the thing you don't want to do first. Like this morning, I was driving, dropping off one of my kiddos at school. And I was like, video, blah. You know, but here I am, it's fine. Are you having fun? The drop-off rate of people on videos on YouTube is like, if 30% make it to like the 30-second mark, I think it is, that's normal. Most people bounce. So if you're still here, you're one of the patient ones. So the internet is over-edited. I'm not saying don't edit your videos. I'm saying just think about it, maybe. Just think about maybe there's a trend of, you know, like, you may hate him, but Joe Rogan, unedited. It is what it is. And that's what I like about this series, this Dadpreneur series. I mean, I don't know, like cars come by, you know, dogs bark, gets loud, things get weird, I say dumb things. It is what it is, man. This is what reality is like. The hyper-edited version of reality is sometimes much more boring than reality itself. Point number one. Point number two. I will neither confirm nor deny. And we're back. On my phone today, I saw a manage storage issue. And I was like, it'll be fine. It wasn't fine. My phone just shut off. So I'm doing my best. Well, I guess that's God's way of making fun of me, right? He's like, oh yeah, you're not going to edit your videos, buddy? Guess what? Your phone is out of room. Haha, you have to edit. So anyway, because I promised I would do the second point, which was assets. Buy assets. People are pretty angry, especially Gen Z, about the inability to buy a home. I'm with you. Ridiculous. When I was coming of age, as they say, or when I was a young adult, what was that? What kind of snorting sound was that? My goodness. Homes were actually really cheap. And you could be like, wow, Kellen, you're an asshole. Why would you even mention that? Well, because I got, like, no one was hiring. There were no jobs. And I worked for $9 an hour. $9 an hour, which does not buy a home. You can't buy a home, so I had to work 2 jobs. So I worked 2 jobs, took a nap in my car. In between jobs, I taught Spanish for $15 an hour, which I thought was pretty good at the time. And then my main job was $9 an hour, and that was with a master's degree. And how many years ago was that? I don't know, whatever 42 minus 26 is how many years ago that was. Anyway, so buy assets. Well, you know, believe it or not, Bitcoin's pretty stable. Not a terrible asset to buy. But the point is that, like, when the corrupt people of the world make a ton of money, they do so because their asset prices go up. So if you own assets, it sort of like protects you from that. I know a lot of Gen Z people want the bubble to burst so that they can buy a home, which I don't blame them at all for feeling that way. I don't think it's going to happen, if I had to guess. But the story I wanted to tell you is, I will neither confirm nor deny that someone I know has a lot of stock in a company. So I'm going to make an argument against entrepreneurship for a second. Usually I'm like, entrepreneurship, freedom, be your own boss. And that's fine. But some of these tech people, my goodness, do you know a tech person? Do you know these people? Okay, first of all, she makes like just an insane amount of money. And I know how hard she works. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm intimately aware with the amount of effort that goes in. And then these tech folks, they get these stock payments. They're called like RSUs and all this other stuff I don't understand. But the stock that she has a bunch in just went up a lot. And I'm just like, my goodness, like this, work hard, pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Yeah, like initially, does that make sense? But either through entrepreneurship or through receiving stocks from a company, that money's got to start working for you. You know, like if you're an entrepreneur and like you grind and you start crushing it, you know, and you're making like $150,000, $200,000, $250,000 plus a year, buy assets. A car is not an asset. A car is a liability. A house is an asset. Stocks are assets. You know, because I'm telling you, like the market, it at a certain point, like if you have 2 million bucks, at 10%, that's 200,000. You might be making 150,000 or 120,000, but your money is making 200,000. I mean, come on. And this isn't some sort of conspiracy of the rich. It's just the reality of capitalism. So anyway, what were the 2 points today? Stocks, purchase assets, and I know you might be like, Kellen, you're an idiot. I don't have any money. I'm poor. Yeah, so was I. I scrounged up 20,000. Yeah, I slept in my car in between jobs, worked 2 jobs, did that whole thing to save up 20,000 to buy my second property. The first property I bought was a duplex for like 100,000 bucks. You only needed 3% down because it was FHA financed. And so you only need like 3,000 for that. You can scrounge together 3,000 bucks. And then the second property, you had to put 20% down. So I needed like, 17,000 or 20,000. And yeah, that sucks. That's hard to do, when you're making, $9 and 15 bucks an hour. But I don't know. Drive a crappy car, do nothing but work for a while. The people where my heart really goes out to is if you have kids. If you have kids at that point, 100%, I hear you. It's like, it feels almost impossible. I did not have kids at the time, so I was able to put in those long hours. So anyway, hey, look, it's Blaine. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did or didn't, can you hit the like button, comment, and subscribe? We'll see you next time.